copy. So this is for the students that are interested in becoming a member. If you wish to be a member, you already have the scholarship part completed. It was a 90 academic average. So after this meeting, if your son or daughter wishes to apply, they will complete this packet. They have to type their name, the grade level, the parent or guardian email. And then they just have to kind of sell themselves to us. Tell us what type of leader they are in the classroom, a little bit about their character, and really focus on the 5 main characteristics of the National Junior Honor Society, which is scholarship, leadership, citizenship. And the service portion, we are actually, normally I require the students to have 10 community service hours before being inducted, but due to the way the year ended last year, I was uncomfortable making them do community service. So we were able to waive that requirement. And even for this upcoming year, in terms of community service, I am not going to require the members to complete the 15 community service hours. We will see when the time is good. I will adjust the hours and we'll talk about it as a group. Okay, so the first part of the packet is just the information. And then the student has to tell me how they're a leader. It could be a leader in the classroom. It could be a leader in a sport. It could be a leader at a local church, a synagogue. Okay, I will send the email again. I will send this link to in an email after this as well. But they just have to tell me how they think they are a leader. Then we also want to know what activities the student participated in, so they can just list any activities. It could be within the school community. It could also be with in the surrounding areas, okay? So National Junior Honor Society, we like to focus on the Keyport community as well as our school community and the surrounding areas. The next part is the awards and recognition. So being invited to the National Junior Honor Society is an honor. That shows that they had academic excellence with the 90 grade point average in the core 4 subjects. But I would like to know, and the faculty committee, I have a few other teachers that will review this with me. We want to know any other awards or recognitions they received that they could share with us. This could be honor roll for a few marking periods, whatever you think. It's your time to kind of sell yourself to us. And the community service portion, as you'll see in this application packet for 2020, 2021, the hours are not required due to COVID restrictions. So if you were able to complete community service this year, I would like to know what your son or daughter values as community service, what type of projects or ideas that they would like to participate in. As a group, we generally try and go to the Keyport Senior Center, as well as we do a waterfront cleanup if possible each year, but I'm open to other suggestions. So I would like to know what your son or daughter values as community service. And the last part is just saying that you, the student understands that submitting this form doesn't guarantee induction and that the information is correct. As a faculty council, then we sit down and review the information. We also look at the student as for their character. So I'll sit down with Mr. Pereira and Mr. Flynn. Not so much really Mr. Flynn because he doesn't really know the students quite yet, but we'll just validate that their character, that they're not into any sort of trouble, and that they're a model student. Because the Honor Society targets the top 20 to 30% in each grade that is a well-rounded student, okay? And then I just ask that the parent or guardian, you could just type the name this year. Normally these packets are given out in person and I require a signature, but we cannot do that. The recommendation forms, we also need recommendations to get inducted into the Honor Society. Normally in years past, I would ask the students to hand these recommendation forms to their teachers and the community member. This year, I just ask that they provide a valid email. I will contact the teachers and the community service members and get the recommendation. So I will send the name to the teacher and just say, do you recommend John Smith to be a part of the Honor Society? And they will tell me yes or no, okay? So that's how we'll do it this year. We can't have the formal recommendations. For recommendations, So that's what I was just going to get into. Community service member. So a community could be a council member, it could be a scout leader, it could be some students are part of the first aid, they volunteer, it could be somebody in the first aid, it could be, I will even let it be this year, we can get by with a neighbor or somebody that knows how you behave in the community. This year's a little different, so we're a little more lenient with the forms. Okay, it's somebody that knows your character outside of school. And then you need at least one teacher. Do they have to live in Keyport? No, it's okay. As long as they know your character. It just cannot be a relative. It cannot be somebody related to you. Okay, so it's one community member, and this I typed at the top. It's one community member, one teacher, and then the third could be either another teacher or community member. So you're just going to type that for me, and I will send the emails validating your character and your recommendation. Okay. Part 3 is no longer in existence for this year. It was normally community service record for 10 hours from last year and the summer. But because of the way the year ended, I did not go into the 6th grade classrooms and have you volunteer. I didn't even feel comfortable having a virtual meeting and sending students to volunteer. So we are waiving to be inducted. And the last part of the packet is, why do you want to be a part of the National Junior Honor Society? So I am going to send some information to the students. I sent this packet as well. I'm going to explain to them exactly what the National Junior Honor Society is, what our 5 characteristics are: scholarship, leadership, citizenship, service, and character. And I want to know why you value those 5 pillars and why you want to be a part of this. The Keyport Central School, we value our National Junior Honor Society members. We rely on them. Hopefully things get back to a little bit more normal this year, and these members can partake in other things like field day and the various activities that we've done in the past. I can't guarantee that at this point, but we felt it was important to recognize these students that excel. So that's why we wanted to continue with this tradition and induct new members. So I know I went rather quickly. I will take some questions at this point, and then I will go on to one last thing. I don't know if I missed questions. You can just unmute yourself if you have a question to ask live. That is fine. So if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question, you can.
I have one question.
Somebody